everyone. Thank you so much for joining again. In one of the last videos, I showed you what common size means for the income statement and why it's useful to express income statement items as percentage of sales. I want to do the same for the balance sheet. We start with common size in this video and then derive from this. There will be some useful financial ratios, especially around solvency and liquidity, which you can derive directly from those common size balance sheet items. So let's get started. Here you see an artificial balance sheet of three hypothetical companies, company 1, company 2, company 3. You see the first items here around assets. I have left the subtotals out for sure up to here, current assets, and then here fixed assets, long-term assets, liability and equity section here, current liabilities, long-term debt, and then shareholders' equity. And here I have included the total liabilities and equity. And as well here, you can see the subtotal of all the assets. So what we do in common size, very easy and actually exactly the same as we did for the income statement. We express every single item such as cash, short-term marketable securities, accounts receivables, inventory as percentage. Here in this case, not as percentage of sales, is as percentage of the assets. So if we get started right away, let's do this. Let's start with cash, approximately 30%. I'm rounding here just to be a bit faster. Short-term securities, 28%, accounts receivables, 15%, inventory, 3%, PP&E 23%, 0%, 0%. If we go through accounts payable as percentage of assets, is 0%. And then we have like 0.5%. Then we have shareholders equity, 99%. And then here, rounding errors, as you can see, 100% as well. Yeah, same applies for here. Because of our accounting equation, assets equals liabilities plus equity, we always have 100% here, 100% here, 100% here. And then if we do the same for company B, 6%, 0%, 30%, inventory 30%. Again, I'm rounding here, but it's more for illustration purposes. PP&E 23%, intangible assets 6%, goodwill 3%. I will explain in another video what each item actually means so that you get a sense of what we mean by goodwill, intangible assets, PP&E, and so on. Accounts payable, again, 77%, 0.5%. And then here, shareholders' equity around 22%. Again, some rounding errors. Let's do it for the last company very quickly. Start with cash, again 30% approximately, 3%, 15%. Inventory is 3% again. Then PP&E, as you can see, is quite big, 84%, 0%, 0%. And then if we go through to accounts payable, 6%. And then long-term bonds payables 92%, and shareholders equity 1.5%. So what you can see is, especially when we look at our current assets here and current liabilities, we use those for our liquidity ratios. I will do another video on those to see, okay, how much current assets are available to cover our current liabilities. Here you can see especially company 3 has a lot of cash available, so the current asset side is quite big compared to the current liability side, which is only 600, whereas company 2 has way more current liabilities outstanding. Accounts payable accounts for 77%. So from a liquidity perspective, it's way more risky. What we can also see, and again, I do another video on those, is we can also learn more about the capital structure and some of the solvency formulas. We can see here that debt accounts for more than 90%, whereas equity is not even 2%. So we can learn more about the solvency risk, but also about the capital structure of the companies and compare them. Very lastly, you don't need to do this necessarily with 3 companies. You could also do the same for one company in different points of time to see what has changed over the course of a few years. Thank you so much for listening. Hope you found this useful. See you in another video. Bye.